you all for coming. Sorry we're starting a little late, but we had quite the line coming into the theater. So I make them memorize all the lines. I can't remember them. So on behalf of the Cedar Springs Community Players and the Kent Theater, welcome to today's performance of A New Skirt in Town. The cast and crew, they've given so much of their time and energy. I want to thank every one of them, so make sure you appreciate it. If any of you have a desire to try acting, set design, tech, anything like that, or if you have a spouse that wants you out of the house periodically, you can contact the Cedar Springs Community Players. We encourage you to reach out. We will be having an intermission halfway through, about an hour into the play, and I encourage you to treat yourself to the concessions at the theater. Now, a couple of years ago, I was approached by Bob Robinson, who's a friend of mine, who excitedly told me of a very detailed dream he had. He said he woke up and immediately thought of me. Now, Bob and I were close, but I didn't think we were that close. Then he described his dream, which is the story behind the play. It centers around a group of people that I have never made fun of before, the Amish. And when I was a young boy many years ago, we'd go on vacation through Pennsylvania, and we would stop at an actual Amish community in Pennsylvania. I've taken the liberty to set this play in that town. That is the actual name of the town. Okay? Now, before we get started, please silence your phones. Don't talk too loud, and please do not take any photographs during the performance. If you're Amish, you can ignore those rules. And also, please laugh as much as you want. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Elijah, how many times do I have to tell you to get off your behind and come over here and taste this? I want to make sure it's good enough to serve our guest.
My dear wife, please stop calling me Elijah.
Well, that's your name, isn't it? I could call you many other names, but I'm trying to be nice, and it's getting harder day by day.
Rachel, we've been married for nearly 30 years now.
My name is Rebecca, and we've been married for 36 years, 8 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, and 3 hours.
That's a long time. Certainly long enough for you to call me Eli. That's the name I prefer.
And you know I call you Eli when you're not annoying me or making me mad.
But you haven't called me Eli in years.
Exactly.
Are you saying I've annoyed you our entire marriage?
No, darling, I'm not saying that.
Don't I ever make you happy?
Of course you do. It was November 15th, 1988. It was the last time I called you Eli. I remember it just like it was yesterday.
Well, I don't. What'd I do to please you?
You were gone for a whole week. You went to Philadelphia to get your brother. He had gone to live amongst the heathens. You left to get him back to our community, to rescue him from, you know, the English.
Now that you mention it, I do remember my brother Isaiah. How's he doing?
Oh, I imagine he's wonderful. He is living in the bright lights, appreciating the sun. He has found his paradise.
He moved to Florida?
No, he died 3 weeks ago.
Well, that explains why I've been having to run his store lately. The memories are coming back. But why aren't his kids running the store? They own it now.
The memories come and then poof, the memories go. He doesn't have any children. We're his only family.
Yeah, you're right. Without a wife or kids, his whole life was that store. All he cared about was kitchen tables and nightstands and whatever else he sold in that store.
No, you're wrong again. He was also 4 years ago named our town bishop. He cared about the community, and he cared about that store.
And then he dies, and I'm stuck with running a store. I just want my old life back. I like being out in the fields, watching the sun rise over the crops, and now I'm stuck inside, stuck like a possum in the headlights.
Oh, more like a petrified skunk. Oh! Would you get over here and try these cookies and tell me how they are?
What are you making for dinner?
Well, I'm making pea soup, just like you asked.
Your hearing is getting worse each day. I said I had too much to eat and drink, so I had to pee and poop.
Exactly, so I made pea soup.
Then the hens were making quite a racket, so I said I had to go let the chickens out.
And I baked the chicken snouts. I don't understand why we women have to do everything our husbands say.
Don't you remember our wedding vows? Honor and obey.
Oh, shut your mouth and get over here and taste this soup.
Good. Oh, soup just turned sour.
Oh, why, Ruth. So nice of you to come. You look wonderful today. How do I look?
Wait, your sister Ruth is our guest? Somebody who intrudes in this house every day is not a guest. And why does she carry that saw with her?
Why, she carries a saw to make sure we Amish women don't have any heels on our shoes, to make sure we're appropriately dressed, that our skirts don't creep up our legs.
Well, she's definitely creepy. Oh, good morning, Deacon Noah.
Just ignore him, Ruth. I do. Oh, no. Ignore him, too. It applies to them both. They don't understand our sisterhood bond, how talking to you helps me through my many trials and tribulations that I have to deal with daily. Oh, you're such a good listener.
Now I know why you two get along. She doesn't talk and you don't hear.
Eli, your tongue is wicked fast.
And his brain is painfully slow.
My dear wife Ruth's inability to talk is one of her most endearing qualities. It has been such a blessing to our marriage.
My dear wife Rebecca, did you hear what the good deacon just said? Maybe if you didn't talk, it would help our marriage too.
Oh, ye of wicked tongue, perhaps it's you that should keep your mouth shut.
There is one downside, however, to her lack of speech.
I'm sure it pales in comparison to the upside.
When she is frustrated with me, when she's disappointed, she has found another way to let me know.
She makes one of her silly faces at you.
No, she has this right jab followed by this mean upper left hook, and then there's the walking stick.
Why, Ruth, what do you have there? Mind if I take a look? Why, oh my. It's an article about Isaiah.
The owner of the furniture store, see? I remember some things. That's my cousin.
He's your brother.
Well, he hasn't been around much lately.
Ruth, I told you not to bring the paper. My dear, I think it's best you not read the article. After all, it was written by heathens. Let me tell you what it says.
Why, yes, it's always much better when a deeper voice tells me what it says, rather than me reading it myself.
As bishop of our community, I am
As acting bishop of your community, soon the deacons will get together and they will play Bishop Bingo, and we'll have a permanent bishop.
Rebecca, your hearing seems to be improving. You heard everything Deacon Noah said.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
As acting bishop of our church, I speak for the community. And the community believes that we must remain united. We Amish live in a world of heathens. And in order to maintain that unity, that cohesiveness, in order to maintain the Amish tradition, I think it best a man tells you what is going on. I'll get straight to the point.
You could have done that 5 minutes ago.
This article says that someone is claiming to be Isaiah's child, his heir. And this heir is planning to move here.
Oh, Elijah, don't get upset. You don't have any nieces or nephews on that side of the family. This could be a wonderful surprise.
Rebecca, I wouldn't be upset. I'd be more than happy to welcome a nephew, someone to help out with the store. But wait, before we get too excited, there's a problem here. My brother Isaiah wasn't married. He didn't have a wife, and that means he didn't have children.
You don't have to be married to have children.
You do if you're Amish. Babies out of wedlock is a big Amish no-no.
And the Amish don't stray from that commitment. But wait, you said something earlier. Do you remember what it was? Because I don't.
Oh, I do. I said I made pea soup. Would anybody like some?
No, it was about 30 years ago. I had to get my brother, it was his rum spring of time when he chose to leave the community. Looking back, I wish I could have rum sprung.
Why, yes, I said that he rumspringed for about a year in Philadelphia until you rescued him and brought him home.
Once you are out in the heathen world, once you lose your connection with God, I can only imagine the temptations that might present themselves. I can only imagine the sins and transgressions one might commit.
Amen, brother. I think I better get back to the store. I wouldn't want the workers to be surprised and have panic break out.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
You always think it's a wonderful idea when I'm going to leave. But wait, I don't want to run the store anyway. Maybe it's okay if panic breaks out.
Elijah, you need to be in control and deal with any problems. I think it's a good idea that both of us go.
You're coming too? Do you think that's a good idea?
We think that's a wonderful idea. You should both go. We'll talk amongst ourselves, decide how it should be handled, and then let you know.
But she doesn't talk and you don't hear.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
Yes, Eli, let's go to the store. Let's assess the situation. And then with my help, you can take whatever action is necessary for the well-being of the store. And I can make sure the community is well informed. Don't worry, we will get this under control.
Now, Elijah, do remember your commitment to your brother, to the store, and to the employees. You have to take this very seriously, and please, try your best.
Rebecca, I will do the best I can.
Oh, Lord, do better than that. Do you like the pea soup? I'm so glad you do. All Elijah ever wants are pork chops. It just works out so much better if I just turn my hearing off whenever he's around.
things are kind of slow today, Levi.
When you're Amish, things are always slow. But working here makes it all that much slower.
Maybe we should do something to make the day go faster. Maybe we should straighten out some shelves. Did we receive any new goods we need to stock?
Or we can just sit around. Look on the bright side, Amos. It's nice when you don't have a lot of work to do. You get to catch up on some much needed sleep. People will tell you every day that nothing is impossible, but they're wrong. I do nothing almost every day.
But Uncle Mr. Ryle,
You mean the boss man?
he told us yesterday to make sure we had all the different pants and coats on display.
Yep. There's 2 black pants, black coat. Oh, there's a white shirt. All set there.
And he wanted us to rearrange the furniture display. Move the dressing tables out front and put the kitchen stuff around the other side.
He tells us to do that every day.
How about we get that done? Then we can rest.
Why? If we get it done, he'll just have us move it back the next day. Look, our boss's best trait is he can't remember what he told you to do yesterday. You just tell him you'll get to the task, you do nothing, then he forgets, and it's deja vu all over again.
I guess I'm okay with that, as long as he remembers to pay us. But honestly, Levi, I'm getting a little worried that business is so slow. How long can we go before we don't get paid?
You're Amish, correct?
Of course, can't you tell?
You don't pay for electricity, you don't have a car, and you're not married. You don't have a lot of overhead in your life. Your expenses are minimal, and you live with your parents.
That may be true now, but when I find a wife, things may change.
You're wrong. When a wife finds you, things will definitely change. But look, Amos, the community is growing. There will always be a need for our goods. There will be times that are busy, times that are a little slow. We'll be fine. And if things get tough, we can always go plow the fields.
I don't like farming.
You're Amish?
Just when I start to worry, God answers my prayers. We have a customer.
I would wait before you thank God. Customer hasn't even bought anything yet.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I help you find something?
Just looking around for now. I just moved to Lancaster last month and I thought I'd check out some of the local towns. This one is kind of interesting.
This town is very interesting.
Unless you live here. Surprisingly, we Amish can be a little boring to outsiders and insiders.
We are a very devout and Christian community. We never cease in our loyalty to our faith and our family. We are accountable to the Lord for our spiritual welfare. We reject pride, arrogance, and haughtiness, and place a high value on humility. I hardly find us boring.
You're wrong. That speech alone was very boring.
Okay, the town is boring.
I guess I was a little surprised when I got to this town. The last thing I expected was for the Amish to live in a town called Intercourse.
Most everyone is.
Do the Amish also have multiple wives?
No, I don't even have one. Thank God.
It's the Mormons, not the Amish, who have multiple wives. The town of Intercourse got its name back in the 1800s after the 2 major roads that intersected.
At least, that's the story we tell everybody. Some people think that Adam and Eve intersected and then had their 3 kids here.
there anything we can help you with? We do have a wide selection of handmade Amish furniture, and on the wall, rakes, tools,
I'm
shovels.
certainly not interested in that.
On the wall is our extensive selection of clothing.
Yeah, very extensive. Black pants, white shirts.
Thank you. I do have one question. I tried to view your website for the store, and I couldn't find anything. As a matter of fact, I couldn't find much about any of the stores in town on the internet.
We have two problems here in Intercourse. One, the internet is not great.
I had noticed that. What's the other problem?
Nobody has a web page.
Maybe I can help. I run a company that designs web pages and wondered if you'd be interested in talking about that. There's my card.
That would be great, but we Amish rarely do anything that requires connecting to the grid. And we certainly don't do anything that is complicated. You might say we're a little old-fashioned that way. Hopefully things will change soon.
Given my whole Amish experience so far, it's all starting to make sense.
And besides, we're not the owners of the store, but we'll give him the card next time we see him.
Yeah, except he's dead.
I appreciate that very much. You said you sell furniture? I'm looking for a nightstand for my bedroom. Where's the furniture section?
Right over here.
I'll go take a look.
Oh, that was exhausting. Ugh. Wake me if the boss man comes.
Okay, but I hope not too soon. I wouldn't mind relaxing a little myself. Oh, good morning, boss. Didn't expect to see you here today.
Wasn't expecting to come in either, but want to go over something with the both of you. And call me Eli. Is he sleeping?
No, Eli. He's not sleeping.
Amen. Oh, hiya, boss. I was just saying my daily prayers and preparing for a grueling day at work.
What would you like us to do today? Do you need us to rearrange the furniture display?
I was just going to suggest that, but wait, that's not the main reason I came in here.
Should we be worried? See, Levi, I told you the lack of business would cause a problem.
I brought someone with me. I think you all know him.
Afternoon, Father.
Good afternoon, son.
Good morning, Deacon Noah. What brings you in today?
Yeah, Deacon, what brings you in? I brought you here. Go ahead.
I don't know if any of you had a chance to read the local paper today, God's Gazette. It is quite interesting.
There was something interesting in the Amish paper? Well, backed up the plow horses.
It was an article in the Intercourse Happenings section. It said that someone new is coming to town, and this someone is going to claim ownership of the store.
So you might not be our boss?
You sold the store?
What store?
Isaiah's store.
My brother?
Yeah, you're running the store.
While he's in Florida?
No, Eli, we talked about this earlier. All we know is that someone is claiming to be the child of Isaiah and heir to his estate.
But Isaiah was never married. How could he have children?
That is a good question, Amos. God commands that you be married before you have children. But the world outside of intercourse is a wicked world. Men
And women.
Men and women don't always follow the rules of God. In the heathen world, sin is the norm.
But Isaiah was a follower of God. He was a righteous Amish man.
Well, he was most of his life, but when he was about your age, he decided to see what the world had to offer outside of intercourse. Fortunately for his soul, he was willing to forego the devil's control and come back for intercourse.
Yet, he had a child. He must have dropped some seed before he took the bumpy road back for intercourse.
Just to be clear, we only read this in the paper. It may not be true.
What do the English call it? Fake news?
Well, we just wanted both of you to be aware in case someone were to come in inquiring about the store.
We'll keep our eyes open on the job.
Provided I'm not praying, of course.
Have any of you encountered anyone who might raise suspicion? Anyone outside the Amish community, perhaps?
None that I recall.
There was this one gentleman.
Could you show me where you keep your Christmas decorations? I could use some cool flashing lights for the outside of my house.
We do have some Christmas decorations, but none with flashing lights. We have some lovely wreaths you could hang on your door, and some candles if you want to add a little flair.
You should consider some more flash in your decorations. Maybe a projector that shines Santa and the reindeer on the roof of your house.
Or perhaps a blow-up Santa dressed in black and riding in an Amish buggy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm gonna go look around for some more stuff. I have some great suggestions for your store, but I'll wait till you're done with your other customers.
Hey, you mentioned a non-Amish gentleman. What did he look like?
He looked just like the person that just asked those questions.
Wow, that's kind of odd.
Or perhaps it was the gentleman who just asked those questions?
Yeah, perhaps.
He was quite curious about the store and what we sold. He wanted to know if the store had a website.
Now, I know I've only been in charge of the store for a little over a month, but I make sure this store is thoroughly cleaned every single week. I can assure you I've eliminated every single spider. There are no webs on this site.
No, Eli. He was wondering if the store had a marketing website.
This market is clean. Look in the corners. Do you sight any webs?
Boss, a website is how the rest of the world advertises about their business on the internet, although I don't know much about it.
It's not worth explaining.
He did say he was willing to help.
I have a feeling this gentleman's interest in our store is not coincidental. I'm thinking his visit may prove the article's correctness. I think I should have a conversation with this gentleman.
Perhaps you're right, but why would you have a conversation with him? You're not the owner or operator of the store.
He makes a good point. You should get the guy that runs this place to talk to him.
On second thought, Deacon Noah, perhaps you're right. You should be the one that talks with him. I'll go get the gentleman and ask him to come speak with us. Or perhaps I'll just sit right here a moment.
Gentlemen, this is a perfect example of what happens when you stray from God's desires.
God is quick to catch the size of the heart.
John chapter 2, verse 16. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, comes not from the Father, but from the world.
Yeah, but it's not always your fault alone.
Yes,
Others may cause you to stray.
Yes, that is right.
But I'm still not seeing a downside yet.
Good afternoon, ma'am. If you're looking for the women's clothing store, it's about a block down the street.
You have a women's clothing store in Intercourse?
Yes, it's just down the street.
Well, I just drove that way and I didn't see it.
It's not real big, but size doesn't matter in Intercourse. delightful selection of black dresses. Perhaps you could use one.
I think I'm all set with dresses.
Amen.
I'd just like to look around this store if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Ma'am, we do have some items for women in the store. We have hand towels, aprons, pots and pans, and in the back we have mops and brooms and some genuine Amish furniture.
I can show you around.
So can I.
I got this.
Amos, I think it best you let the young lady look through the store on her own. Go find the gentleman and ask him to come and speak with us.
Yes, Father.
That's a good idea. Amos can go get the man, and I'll go help the lady if you don't mind. I'm suddenly inspired to help our customers.
I don't mind you leaving.
I second that devotion.
You know, I'm getting eager to talk to this guy. You know, because on the one hand, if it does turn out that Isaiah has a son, I get to meet my new nephew. On the other hand, I'm getting tired of running this store, and I'd welcome a change.
That's the same hand.
Oh, you got a point. I got nothing. I hope it turns out all right.
Gentlemen, this is Derek Sampson. Derek, this is Elijah Ryle. He runs the store. And this is Deacon Noah. What you do, Father?
I am the acting bishop for the Amish community. I also own and operate the Cheesecake Factory, the Cheese Factory, here in Intercourse.
I do love the name of this town. Is that inappropriate to say?
Oh, not at all. The town gets its name from the main intersection. Those two roads used to be the main thoroughfares before the turnpike came through.
Yes, Amos was already explaining that to me.
We've had to explain how this town got its name many, many, many times.
But ours is simple in comparison to our neighbors to the west, bird in hand.
And to our east, there's two in a bush.
Derek, do you mind if we ask you some questions?
Ask away. I assume these other gentlemen gave you my card. I develop websites.
We can discuss spiders later. First, I'd like to know what brings you to this store, because you don't appear to look like our typical customer.
I'll get straight to the point. Isaiah, the owner of the store, passed away about a month ago. His brother, Elijah, has been running the store since his passing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's been a difficult time.
In many respects.
We had heard a rumor that Isaiah may have had a son who was coming to Intercourse to claim ownership of the store.
He had a son no one knew about.
We aren't sure, but we wanted to ask you if perhaps you knew anything about this. If perhaps you were that son.
Oh, please say yes.
Let me just say, this town and this store are so unique. I would love to say I'm the son. I think this place is great. I think it has a lot of potential, and I'd really like to see it succeed. Unfortunately, I'm not that son. I'm not even a churchgoer, let alone Amish. I'm just a normal guy.
Guess it means the rest of us are abnormal.
Sorry for any inconvenience. Perhaps this is all just a rumor. Perhaps Isaiah didn't have a son. I guess that means I'll have to just stay here and keep running the store.
Forgive me for butting in.
Ma'am, your butt is most certainly welcome.
But perhaps Isaiah didn't have a son. Perhaps he had a daughter?
No, I suppose that could be the case, but that would mean I'd still have to run the store.
And why would you still run the store?
A woman can't run a store of this complexity. Look around. Besides, we sell a lot of manly stuff here.
Complex or not, any business owned by a woman would not be warmly received by the community.
Well, maybe this community needs to change their views. Maybe they should come into the 21st century.
Good luck with that.
I expect you haven't made it to the 20th century yet.
I'm sensing this discussion is no mere discussion. I sense there's more you need to tell us.
Well, you're quite perceptive and quite intelligent.
Thank you. I did graduate the 8th grade. I was top 10 in my class.
There are only 8 kids in your class.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Delilah Ryle.
Whoa, what a coincidence. That's my last name.
I don't think that was a coincidence.
My father's name was Isaiah Ryle.
Whoa, another coincidence. That was the name of my brother.
I can assure you, he didn't graduate in the top 10 of his class.
You must be my Uncle Elijah. I'm so excited to meet you.
Awkward.
Do you need someone from the staff to help you find anything?
No, I'm okay staying right here. This is quite interesting.
Interesting and awkward.
It appears the newspaper's article was factually correct.
That alone is quite rare.
But ma'am, how do we know what you are saying is true? How do we know that you are his daughter?
Oh, I have my birth certificate listing my father's name. To be honest, I never knew my father growing up. Mother always told me that he had run off, but just before she died, I was told the truth, that he returned to his Amish community. Well, my mother said she loved him very much, but she didn't want to leave New York to live in this community. I only found out recently that he had died.
The article said that the heir would be taking over Isaiah's store.
Well, that is correct, and I am Isaiah's heir.
I think she means E-R-R-O-R.
I'm Delilah, and you are?
I'm Amos. I work here.
Well, Amos, it's nice to meet you. Since I plan to take over the operation of the store, I could really use your help in getting to know the store, the workers, and the community.
I'm Levi. I'd like to get familiar with you too. I really like your skirt.
I'm Derek. I'm not Amish and I don't live in intercourse.
The clothes and the iPhone gave it away.
Well, it's nice to meet all of you.
It's nice to meet you. If you don't mind, here's my card. I run a company that specializes in setting up websites and developing presence on the internet. I think you're going to need my help.
Thank you. As soon as we agree on the path forward here, I'd love to get together and talk about next steps.
I guess that means I'm not needed to run the store. I can go home and relax. Oh, wait, the wife's there.
Not so fast, everyone. Miss Ryle, I don't know if you are aware, but you cannot run this store. It is in direct conflict with the heritage and tradition of the Amish community. First of all, you're not Amish, and secondly, you're a woman.
Deacon Noah, you are so observant.
With all due respect, Deacon Noah, it is not my intention to change the character of the store. It is, however, my intention to improve the operation and the appeal of the store. Input from a different perspective, and especially from a woman, can prove invaluable to the store's success. It will also honor my father's legacy to the community.
You must realize the community will not tolerate or agree to this change. I only hope you can understand and respect our tradition. I will be alerting the church elders and the community at large of this development. We will be contacting you soon to work out a resolution. Amos, son, let's go.
Oh, you go on without me, Father. I work here. And besides, I think this development might have a positive impact on the store and the community. I'm willing to give Miss Ryle a chance for my support.
Ditto on that.
If that is your opinion, son, this development will have a negative impact on my willingness to let you live in our house.
On second thought, Father, wait up. I'm coming.
And you didn't do it then, so I'm giving you a second chance. Let's get the bakery ready.
But we haven't had any customers since we opened an hour ago. It doesn't make any sense to have bread out if no one comes in to buy it.
It just gets green and hard and it stinks.
Please, girls, just do as I say. I don't need any more stress.
But there are no customers, and no customers mean no stress.
You're wrong. No customers means no money, and no money means lots of stress.
We're sorry, Mother. What can we do to help?
You can do one thing for me that might help. Please come give your mother a big hug and forgive me for my impatience. Okay, now go get some more bread and do it quietly. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Ruth. It's so nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Esther. Good morning, girls. The girls seem a little tense. Is anything the matter?
They'll be fine once Ruth puts the saw away.
They're such hard workers.
They are when they're motivated. How can I help you, ladies? I have some fresh bread and some fresh pecan pies as soon as the girls bring it out. How many would you like? Oh, and I have lots of Amish donuts.
Well, we didn't come here to buy any baked goods.
Okay, but that's all I sell.
Well, it appears that Ruth would like a pecan pie and that she's ready to slice it herself.
We'll get that, Mother!
While we're waiting on the pies, I wondered if you had heard about the chaos at the furniture store. I know how fast news travels in intercourse.
Well, with no internet, no cell phones, no landlines, no radios, and no television, news doesn't travel that fast. But Eve Schmucker was in yesterday to tell me some of the story. Unfortunately, she didn't make it through the whole story. She can be long-winded at times.
Well, I'm sorry to make a long story longer, but it turns out that Isaiah Ryle had a child out of wedlock, took the whole secret to his death, and then it all came out.
He spoke the truth after he died?
No, Esther. A young woman showed up at the store claiming to be his heir. No, Ruth. Heir. H-E-I-R. Heir. Anyway, she then went on to say that she produced a birth certificate and then proclaimed herself the owner of the store. As you well know, the community committee has strongly discouraged women-owned businesses in intercourse.
If only the men did the work too. As you know, my husband owns this bakery, but I do all the work. Even worse, when he gets home, he complains about how little I do around the house, and he's home all day.
I have to tell you, try not letting him know that you can't hear. It works wonders for me.
Oh, I'll have to try that. Anyway, I'm sure the community committee will deal with this at the next meeting.
They consider the matter to be urgent, and it is at the top of their list. Do you know that she's even bringing in new items to sell? Items the community feels are inappropriate for our community. She's even talking about bringing in colored clothing. You know, not black and white.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind a little more variety.
Well, it comes down to the fact that she's not Amish.
Not being male is probably more important.
Well, some members of the committee have discussed their distress over that matter.
Honestly, I haven't heard of anyone too upset. I suspect Deacon Noah's leading that charge. Well, speak of the devil. Forgive me.
I imagine you're not too far from the truth.
I meant to say, speak of the deacon. Good morning, Deacon Noah.
Good morning, Esther. I don't know if you've heard of the new threat, the disease entering intercourse. I have raised the issue with the community committee.
Rebecca just told me you head that committee, don't you?
The concern centers on the furniture store and the invasion of a heathen owner.
Eve Schmucker told me yesterday.
Well, it all comes down to this. We have a big problem.
Yeah, there's a new skirt in town.
And we plan to take action.
Well, what a surprise. What do you plan to do?
We must do whatever is necessary to protect the integrity of the community. First of all, we shall challenge that woman's claim of ownership. That store has been in the Ryle family for 6 generations, and it seems a travesty to bring that legacy to an end.
But if she is telling the truth and she is part of the Ryle family, the legacy will continue.
But she's not Amish. And furthermore, God himself knows that a woman is unable to appropriately continue that legacy.
I appreciate your concern. And I appreciate your business. I don't necessarily appreciate your opinion.
$8 for the pie.
And furthermore, we need your help.
But I'm just a woman. You probably need a man for that. Go ask my husband.
$8 for the pie. Ma'am, it's $8. Do you want it or not?
Oh, Penelope, I forgot. This is the lady that's deaf and dumb.
You are only half right, my dear child. She's not deaf.
Oh, Esther, I believe that Deacon Noah plans to bring this up with the community committee.
He's mentioned that a time or 5.
Well, I think the community committee will support him in his concerns and the effects of the new owner on the community.
But how do you feel about that? Do you support Deacon Noah? Don't you think it's time to support the women in our community?
I feel it's time, but not this time.
Why not now?
Because if they let that woman run that store, then that means my husband will be back at home with me. Now, some women want to run a business and some women want to run a home, but nobody wants their husband around all the time.
Good point, Rebecca. For your benefit, I will support Deacon Noah. What's the woman's name?
Delilah.
Seems appropriate. Her father couldn't have named her any better.
Neither could the guy that wrote this damn play.
$8 for the pie.
$7 for the pie?
Deacon Noah, your son Amos works there. Won't causing trouble for the furniture store impact his job? How does he feel about this?
He supports the Amish community and he supports his father.
He doesn't feel quite so passionately about it as his father. You know the young people, they're always more liberal.
But if we are successful, Amos's job should not be negatively impacted.
And my Eli will be out of the house?
Deacon Noah, for your benefit, I will half-heartedly support your position. But for my benefit, Rebecca, I will support you. What do you plan to do, and how can I help?
Well, next week I will inform the committee of my plans.
You mean you plan to tell them what to do?
It's kind of a rubber stamp.
Then I shall speak with that woman and ask that she relinquishes ownership.
Make sure she relinquishes ownership to my husband so that he's out of the house.
What if she refuses?
Then we shall shun her and wait for an epiphany from God.
Good morning, ma'am. Can we help you find anything?
That is such a pretty dress.
I like any other color than black.
Mother, I want to dress like that.
Me too.
My apologies, ma'am. She usually doesn't react this way.
Yes, she does.
Why don't we get out of here and let Esther to her business?
I might be interested in bread. But first I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Delilah Ryle, the new owner of the furniture store in town, and I wanted to say hello to the other businesses. I would tell you more about it, but I suspect you already read about it in the papers, or have listened to the gossip. Are you the owner of the bakery?
Technically not. My husband owns the bakery.
As it should be.
But I do all the work.
Mom!
Oh, my apologies. These are my daughters, Rebecca and Naomi. They work when needed.
Young ladies, could you pick me out a nice loaf of bread and maybe a pie for later?
Girls, you heard the lady.
She keeps giving us dirty looks.
And her hand is gripping the saw again. I'm scared.
Like I said, let's let Esther to her work.
We shall leave, but remember, Esther, I'm counting on your support. Rebecca, Ruth, let's go. Good day.
You know, I'm going to stay and have some Amish donuts. Why don't you go on without me?
Girls, could you please get Miss Delilah her bread and Rebecca her donuts?
You have such fine daughters.
I finished as top student in my grade last year,
And I did too.
Well, how impressive. Did you girls go to the Intercourse Public School?
no, I'm homeschooled.
Me too.
It's so nice to finally meet you, Delilah.
I've heard so much about your arrival.
I assume not much of a positive.
Well,
Have expressed their concerns.
we can be not very welcoming to new people unless you're Amish or buying a lot of Amish goods.
I guess I didn't know what to expect. I'd heard about the Amish, how honorable and religious they are.
Well, we try to be both of those things, I believe, but when it comes to new ideas and new people, we're not very welcoming and not very flexible.
Based on my experience these past few weeks, that is an understatement. I'm sorry to bother you both with my troubles. I just haven't had anyone who I could talk to who might understand my situation. Anyone I could turn to for some advice, but I'll leave if you want.
No, dear. Please stay. We are more than willing to listen and help if we can.
Thank you. This is all so new to me. Frankly, up until just recently, I didn't even know who my father was, let alone that he was Amish.
How did you find out?
Did your mother tell you?
She told me a few years ago, just before she passed away.
I'm so sorry.
Then, several months ago, a man driving a horse and buggy paid me a visit. It was so strange. He told me who he was and that he was my father. I was his only child. He did apologize for never being a part of my life, and then he told me he was very ill and his days on earth were coming to an end.
So you didn't even know he owned a store?
No, I didn't find out about it until after he had died. I considered just selling it, but I always dreamed of running my own business.
And then you arrived and realized what you were up against. The way of the store is so old and the way of the community even more ancient. There's not much you can do to change that.
Oh, I disagree. This town has a ton of potential. It has a certain aura aura and allure that could really attract a lot of customers. You know, it's so different from shopping at the mall or ordering from Amazon.
People go all the way to the Amazon to go shopping? Isn't that dangerous?
Great things can happen here. We just need to let the rest of the world know about us. We need to change our approach.
You must realize that change will be met with a lot of opposition, especially if it's your idea.
It's never easy to change your position in intercourse.
I guess the horse-drawn buggies gave that away.
Delilah, I am intrigued by your positive spirit. I want to hear so much more about your ideas.
Oh, thank you. You've been so welcoming.
Unfortunately, I already told Deacon Noah that I would support his position to reclaim the store.
And I need my husband out of the house.
That's too bad. I was hoping we could be friends.
We can still be friends.
Does Deacon Noah have another job besides being the religious leader in town?
Yes, he owns the cheese factory just down the street from the furniture store.
Well, why doesn't his son Amos work there?
Amos is the fourth and last son. The store doesn't sell enough cheese for all the sons.
And I think Amos was more than a little okay being distant from his father.
Well, thank you again for spending some time with me.
No, Delilah, please stay. Perhaps there's another way that we can deal with this issue. Maybe we can come up with a plan that Noah will support and at the same time accomplish your goals.
You think you can change Noah's mind?
I'm kind of lost. I thought his intention was to keep me from running the store, or at least to keep me from succeeding.
Sometimes plans don't produce the results you intend.
I'm experiencing that right now.
And sometimes the unintended results turn out better in the long run. I think I have an idea. With a little bit of planning, just might work.
What do you think would motivate Noah?
What motivates any man?
This isn't another intercourse joke, is it?
No, I'm thinking money might motivate him.
Oh, that would work. But will it get my Eli out of the house?
If it works, yes.
I don't think we can bribe him.
We won't need to give him any money. But, Delilah, for this plan to succeed, it will require you to play a big role. Have you ever acted before?
Well, I was in a play once in high school, but I didn't get a good role, and the director was really bad. Actually, the director wrote his own play, and it really sucked.
For this plan to work, it will require a good script, some great acting, and a little bit of luck.
And a better director.
Maybe a lot of luck? What do you think?
Oh, I'm smiling from ear to ear. Thank you so much.
One thing is essential. It will require you to persuade your employees to help with the plan.
Well, Levi won't be a problem as long as it doesn't require a lot of work.
On second thought, let's not include Levi.
No, but it will require Amos's help. He can't tip off his father too early.
Perhaps I can use a little female charm.
Even though your name is Delilah, I am not encouraging anything inappropriate.
On the other hand, do what ye must.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Now we carried that style.
I couldn't get it here. We don't have the shiny buttons.
Where's Levi? Is he coming into work today?
Yes, he's out in his buggy. He said he had 90 seconds before his shift started and didn't want to come in too early, Miss Ryle.
Amos, please call me Delilah. I know that I'm technically your boss, but I consider you every bit as important to the store as I am. Maybe even more important. Your knowledge of the products and your friendly personality are invaluable to the store's success. And, unlike me, you have a great connection to the community.
I was born here and grew up here. It's the only community I have known. And, Delilah, speaking of community, I have some bad news I need to tell you. But it looks like that's going to have to wait.
Good morning, Delilah.
Good morning, Levi. I hope that you're doing well. But please call me Ms. Ryle if you don't mind.
Oh, so sorry, boss. So, boss, what do you want us to do today? Hopefully not too much. Just so you know, I'm really tired already.
Well, I noticed you never got the furniture rearranged. I asked you to do that 2 days ago when it's still not done.
Oh, so sorry, boss. I'm just not used to a boss that remembers what they asked me to do. I miss Eli.
We also received some new products that we're going to need to display. I expanded our products to include soap, shampoo, and other personal hygiene items.
We Amish don't have indoor plumbing, only bathhouses. We do stink a little at times.
Yeah, sometimes we stink a lot. But if you think that smells bad,
Yeah, it does.
then you should go down to Deacon Noah's cheese factory. It's horrible.
What do you expect? They cut cheese all day.
Believe me, it's not just the Amish who stink.
She's right. The Mennonites stink a lot too.
So, Delilah, where are these new products?
Oh, they're right over there on the table. Don't worry, I didn't buy anything that requires electricity. Levi, I think Amos can handle this. Please go take care of that furniture.
But the furniture is heavy.
Oh, you're a big boy. You can handle it. Please go do it now.
I really miss Eli. I miss you too, boss, especially on payday.
All right, there's body soap, bathroom cleaner, and these brushes.
This brush looks kind of odd. What do you clean with it?
Oh, it's for the hard-to-reach places.
The label says it's a hiney helper.
We could call it a butt brush.
I think tush tool would be better.
I got it. The ass aid.
Levi, other room now. We'll stick with Heiny Helper. Amos, you said you had something you needed to tell me?
Yes, it's about the committee meeting last night. It didn't go so well.
I didn't expect that it would. What happened? What did they decide?
The committee decided that they couldn't and shouldn't sacrifice their principles, that allowing a business that didn't adhere to the Amish rules would be unacceptable, and that allowing you to continue to run the furniture store would compromise the community's relationship with God.
What did the other members have to say?
No one else said anything. The meeting lasted over 2 hours.
Nobody else had an opinion.
There was this one man who owns the bakery.
I thought Esther owned the bakery.
Esther's husband owns the bakery. She just does all the work.
Well, what did he say?
He was concerned that shutting down the furniture store would cause a decline in intercourse activity. That the bakery and other businesses would suffer. Father said our principles were more important, and the decision was approved unanimously.
So what is their next step?
My father will be stopping by to offer you some options to avoid outright shun, but it will mean you will have to sell the store.
I see.
I have never outwardly opposed my father before, for he is the deacon of this community, but I simply don't understand his opinion or his approach. You are the first non-Amish person I've ever been close to.
Well, and you're the first Amish person that I've ever been close to.
In contrary to what my father says, you're a good person with a kind heart, not a heathen.
Thank you for your support, Amos. You're such a sweetheart. Excuse me if that was inappropriate.
Oh, I don't mind being a sweetheart, Delilah.
Amos, having only known my father for a short time has made me appreciate the bond between a father and a child. I would never want to take that away from anybody, but especially from you.
But it is I that must make that decision. I must stand up for what I believe is right and stay true to my heart.
Well, maybe we can give your father a reason to change his mind. Hi, Derek. Thanks for coming in. Derek has set up the initial website for the store. Why don't you give us your opinion and have a look?
Can I give my opinion too?
Levi, I thought you were rearranging the furniture.
Don't worry, I'll get to it. I still have 7 hours and 45 minutes left in my shift.
If you did it now, you would only have 7 hours and 35 minutes left.
Have a quick look, but then it's back to work.
There's just one problem. We're going to need a power source.
There's one about 3 miles down the road.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I turned on the generator. Amos said we're allowed to have a power source if it's essential for business.
My father's cheese factory and the bakery need it for health reasons, and the committee decided to let the other businesses have it too. We just don't use it in our homes.
You forgot. We don't have any internet service here.
Well, we'll just use an internet hotspot.
I don't like the sound of that.
Here's the store and a picture of the staff.
Wait. I'm not in the picture.
You were sleeping when we took it.
Now, if you click here, you can bring up all of the products and their details and prices. You can even set aside furniture that you want to purchase later.
Wait. How do you click?
With this mouse here.
Well, one thing's for certain. This isn't an Amish mouse.
In the next few weeks, I'll work on improving the site with feedback from your customers and all of you as well.
You know, the site really highlights what we have to offer. Getting the word out will bring us a lot more customers. I think it looks great.
But most of our customers don't have computers. They don't even have internet, let alone hotspots.
And all the Amish mice are all in the attic.
Well, we're now going to focus our marketing beyond the picket fences of intercourse throughout the Lancaster area and beyond.
Thank you for letting me be a part of this. I'll
Now-
send you your bill.
Okay, T, we need to make sure this website is updated weekly to make sure our new furniture pieces and all our new products are added. Amos, can I count on you to help with that?
I will give it my best.
Well, that doesn't sound like a lot of heavy lifting. Why can't I do it?
Well, I don't want to interrupt your naps.
If you have any concerns or questions, just let me know. I'm looking forward to a long and productive relationship.
Looks like that relationship might be short-lived.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Deacon Noah. Uncle Eli, to what do we owe this pleasure?
I'll let him tell you. I'm having trouble remembering.
I think you all know why we are here. Last night we had our committee meeting where we discussed a variety of options concerning your ownership and what actions we should take. Here is a copy of my speech.
It's his state of the community address.
The state of the community address. Well, let me take care of that.
After much discussion,
Actually, he did all the talking.
After much discussion, I have decided to purchase the store in order to resolve the dispute.
It's your dispute, not mine.
I have brought Eli along to help with the transition. He has agreed.
I was told.
He has agreed to run the store in the interim. My hope is that Amos will eventually take charge.
This offer is hardly substantial. What if I decide to reject it?
I think it's quite an appropriate offer given the current status of the store. However, the committee did have quite the in-depth discussion about what we should do should you not accept.
Not sure you would call it a discussion because he did all the talking.
For the future of the store and the integrity of the community, your best choice would be to accept the offer. I will have all the papers drawn up and the money made available to you within the week. I hope that is satisfactory.
It is not. And it's not just the amount of this offer, which is hardly worth considering. God has given me this chance to do something with my life. And contrary to what you think, yeah, you heard that right. She has given me the opportunity to do something for the entire community. I do not intend to sell the store.
I guess that means I can go home.
The community will be disappointed.
Actually, it's mostly who's disappointed.
And I think you will regret it. Furthermore, we cannot allow heathens to flourish in our community.
I thought Delilah goes to church and believes in God, so why is she considered a heathen?
Not only is she not Amish, she just referred to God as a she, and that doesn't go over well around here.
From this moment on, no one from the community of intercourse will purchase any items from this store. A boycott is now in effect. I'm sorry it has come to this.
I think otherwise. You are quite happy for this conflict.
Can I go home now?
Let's leave. Amos, Levi, gather your belongings and come with us. It is time we let this woman fend for herself.
I cannot do that, Father. Delilah has been trying to do what's best for the store and for the community. Can you at least give her a chance?
You need to leave now, Amos.
But let her explain her plans for the store and how it will benefit all of us. Can you at least do that?
I have given her an offer and she has refused. I cannot support the intrusion of the English, the intrusion of heathens into our community.
But you are wrong. Her presence will allow our community to grow. It will make us all stronger.
I am your father. I am bishop of this community. You must leave now, Amos.
Father or not, I cannot do that. I must stay true to what I believe is right.
Very well. You may gather your belongings tomorrow. You are no longer welcome in my house. Levi?
I'm hanging with Amos. And Delilah. And Derek. And the techno mice.
I'll give you one last chance to discuss the sale of the store.
I'm done. No need to talk about yourself any longer. We'll do plenty of that when you leave for the second time.
You will all regret this decision.
I'll tell you what, I'll waive the charges for my services so far. I don't want to add any burden. There is a gold mine of potential here, and I really just want to see you succeed.
Thank you, Derek, but that is certainly not necessary. I'll pay that bill and we'll be ready for a bunch more work.
I'm sorry about my father. I apologize for the committee's actions.
Amos, this decision by the committee hardly comes as a surprise. But what they don't realize is their action may actually turn out to be a great benefit to our store.
Okay, I certainly hope you're right. Is there anything else I can do to help?
There's a bunch of furniture in the other room that needs moving.
Levi, be quiet. Derek, there is one more thing, but I'll call you later tonight. Thanks again.
Okay, bye everyone.
Are you okay, Amos?
For the first time in my life, I have stood up and opposed my father, for I believe he is wrong.
I'm sorry for the altercation you had with your father, but I'm honored for the support that you showed me.
You're welcome, and I have done what I believe is right. No need to apologize. I do, however, have one small problem. I just need to find a place to stay.
Can I go too? I'm stressed.
We can all leave once Levi moves the furniture, we set up our new display products, and the clock says 5 p.m. Levi, do you see those cartons over there? I ordered some new clothing for the customers. Go hang them up. I think they'll love them. Amos, come over here for a second.
Well, this ain't right. They aren't black.
Don't worry. I can rent you a room at the motel down the street, but I would prefer a different approach.
light gray socks, light gray pants, light gray shirts.
Go home and talk to your father. Tell him that you're sorry and that you've decided to support his actions.
Here's a darker gray coat. These are great!
But I don't think he's right. I want to support you owning the store.
Darker gray shirt, light gray hat. So stylish.
Just so you know, several of the Amish women planned for this outcome at the meeting. We devised a plan that will both appease your father, help this store, and all of Intercourse. But I'm gonna need your help. Let me explain.
These clothes are great. We've now officially gone from 2 shades of black to 50 shades of gray. I'll go put these with the buggy whips.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lancaster's one and only WHAT TV News. As everybody already knows, I am investigative reporter Anderson Scooper with the breaking story. I'm in the usually very quiet Amish community of Intercourse, just 10 miles outside of Lancaster. But, believe it or not, we have a big breaking story taking place right here and right now. Earlier today, an anonymous whistleblower, a man named Derek Sampson, alerted us that protests have broken out in this quaint town. When we arrived, we were quite surprised to see extensive protests taking place. Now we will do our very best to get to the bottom of this story. Young ladies, can I have a word from you two?
Stranger danger!
Hold on, Naomi. Mom, you okay with us talking to this reporter?
Mom, she's not Fox News.
Go ahead, girls. I'm right here.
I see you're holding signs.
We made them this morning. Mine says, women should be baking.
And mine's a lot prettier than hers. It says English are not welcome.
And why are you carrying them?
Mrs. Scooper, I'm the girls' mother, Esther Esch. The girls are just willingly supporting their community.
I'm carrying the sign because my father told me to do it.
And he told me to wear this hat. MAGA, make the Amish great again.
Could you explain further for our viewers?
A well-respected Amish man died a couple of months ago. It was so sad.
We are also so sorry to hear about that.
Then, out of nowhere, a woman claiming to be his illegitimate daughter came in and took control of the store. The store I'm talking about is the not-so-modern furniture store, 123 Kissimmee Street, Intercourse, Pennsylvania. They feature locally made Amish furniture and other wonderful items. One more thing. The website is www.realamishfurniture.com.
Does the community doubt that she is the daughter of the dead man?
There certainly was some doubt. When the committee heard the news, we had Elder Mulder do some research, and the findings in his report were inconclusive. She produced a birth certificate and performed some sort of DOA test, and it supported her claim.
I believe you mean a DNA test.
If you say so. We Amish didn't have to take much science in school.
So why the opposition?
She's not Amish. Just to be clear, our community welcomes diversity as long as the diverse people are customers here to spend money. We consider it very important for our community to maintain its Amish identity. Could you imagine if Baptists started moving in here? Oh, and then there's the fact that she's a woman.
Aren't women appreciated in intercourse?
What?
Wait, let me rephrase that. Aren't women appreciated in this town?
Oh, we are so much appreciated. My husband tells me every day how thankful he is for all the children I gave birth to, how clean the house is, how much food I cook, and all the work I do in his bakery. And believe me, I do all the work in the bakery.
Mom!
The girls do help on occasion.
So your husband is not the master baker.
No, ma'am. He's not a master baker. I'm the one who does most of that.
Thank you, Mrs. Esch. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end this interview?
Yes, my husband's store is the Sweetie Pies. It's just down the street from the furniture store. Everyone needs to try our cherry pies and our home-baked bread. You will really enjoy them.
Thank you, Mrs. Esch. I see that there's others now joining the protest.
Mrs. Scooper, that's Noah Flood. He heads the committee that started the boycott. Deacon Noah, this woman would like to speak with you.
Mr. Flood, would you mind answering a few questions?
Just a second, please. What is going on, Esther?
The girls and I are just willingly supporting the boycott. We want to make sure everyone is aware of what's going on.
The community is well aware. I've been spreading the word to everyone inside the community who was unable to attend the meeting.
And we've been spreading the word to everyone outside the community.
Mr. Flood, this is Anderson Scooper from WHAT TV News. Can you confirm that you are the acting bishop of Intercourse?
That is correct.
And the community has initiated a boycott of the not-so-modern furniture store here in your town?
That is correct.
And do you believe that you have community support for your actions?
Yes, of course. We conducted a survey and found that 70% of the community were either in favor of or neutral towards the idea of initiating a boycott.
And the boycott was based on the fact that the new owner, the daughter of the previous owner, is not Amish, and she is female?
Bear in mind, the Mulder report that we compiled was inconclusive as to her heredity. Despite this fact, we had hoped to avoid this unfortunate action. I personally made an offer to Miss Ryle. Unfortunately, she refused.
And her refusal in this offer has resulted in the boycott.
That is correct.
Just to be clear, you attempted to buy the store for your own personal gain, and her refusal in this offer has led to the boycott. Many would consider that a quid pro quo. Do you have any concerns about a possible impeachment from your community position?
I have no further comments. Esther, I suggest you not speak anymore with this reporter. Let's leave, Ruth.
I guess I'm not supposed to talk to you anymore, or so saith the man. Girls, isn't that Miss Ryle heading this way?
Yes, Mom.
What does she do?
She's the owner of the furniture store. She's the one we're boycotting. She's so nice. But I like her old dress a lot better.
Mrs. Ryle, would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
Sure. What would you like to know?
From your perspective, what is happening?
There is a mob boycotting my store.
And why do you think that this is occurring?
Because I'm female and I'm a minority.
You don't look like a minority. Could you elaborate on that?
I am being boycotted for my radical religious beliefs.
And what religion do you practice?
I'm Presbyterian, although I haven't been to church in a while. As a young woman, it's hard enough to make it in a man's world. When that world is Amish intercourse, it's nearly impossible.
Do you have any plan of action to counter this boycott?
I would just ask for the support of anybody who has ever encountered gender oppression or feels it important to support women's rights. Any help is greatly appreciated.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Ryan.
Oh, and our website is www.amishfurniture.com.
That's all we have for now from Intercourse. We will keep you informed of any new developments. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programs. Thank you and goodbye. This is Anderson Scooper again, following up on our story last week in the Amish community of Intercourse. The boycott of the not-so-modern furniture store has resulted in a mass influx of customers, and the businesses in town are booming. And one thing is for certain, I am sure to receive much of the credit for my awesome reporting. Coming this way are two girls who are helping with the boycott. Excuse me, girls, can I ask you a question real quick?
We're in a hurry. Mom needs our help in the back.
Aren't you supporting the boycott?
Mom says we are. Mom says we need to remain proud of our Amish town.
Mom says we need to remain noble. Maybe we'll win a Nobel Prize.
I just hope we're getting a piece of the money we're making.
Or we'll win a Nobel Peace Prize. Can young kids win that?
We need to go!
But girls! Oh well. Heading this way are two customers. Obviously not Amish. Folks, can I ask you a few questions?
Oh, sure, I don't mind, but good luck getting him to talk.
Oh my, we're on television? This is awkward.
So what brings you to Intercourse?
I saw your broadcast the other day, and I feel it's very important to support business women trying to make it in business. And I haven't experienced coming to Intercourse lately.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time.
So, when I got here, I was so surprised. There were so many neat new stores and great products, and the people were so friendly.
Oh yeah, they shop.
As you can see, we got to the cheese factory. I got some brie and some Gouda and some stinking Bishop cheese.
Well, that's really good stuff.
Everywhere we went, it was so busy. So here we are at the bakery to get some homemade donuts.
I really like that.
Were you able to stop by at the not-so-modern furniture store? That was the one that they were boycotting last week.
That's right, we did. It was a little difficult getting in, but they didn't have a very great selection of clothing, and we didn't need any new furniture. But hubby here got a brand new garden tool.
Yep, look at this. They got the best hose in Intercourse.
Lock the door, girls. Yes, we're closing early. We have no more bread and no more pies left to sell, and the donuts are long gone.
I'm just so glad we're closing.
Then why aren't you running to lock the door? Girls, what's the problem?
I'm tired.
I'm exhausted.
I don't think I can move another muscle.
If you can't move another muscle, then quit talking.
We need a raise.
If business stays this good, you can certainly have a raise, But if you don't get up and lock the door, there'll be more work to do when someone walks in.
More customers! I need a donut.
Why, hello, Delilah. Hello, Amos.
Will one of you two please lock the door? We're too tired to get up.
Sure, I'll get it.
How's business at the furniture store?
Esther, you're a genius. Your plan has worked flawlessly.
When Delilah first told me the reason you are having the girls involved in the boycott, I thought it would never work. My fear was it would only make the situation worse.
Girls are smart.
Amos, you obviously underestimate the power and intelligence of women.
Boys are stupid.
Delilah, if I had any doubt, you have demonstrated the power and intelligence of women. But in the Amish world, women don't make the decisions on what to buy, well, except for food for dinner, and they certainly don't control the money of the family. It's just not how things work.
How do you say it? Welcome to the English world.
Clearly, I forgot what happens outside of intercourse.
Amos, you obviously underestimate the power and intelligence of women and forgot what happens inside intercourse, too. We Amish women need to make sure that we are a little bit more concealed and mysterious. But, for the most part, we control the spending.
That's not what
we control the conversation, too. So, shh.
How's it been going the past week?
Oh, Esther, ever since the boycott started, my place is flooded. It's swamped. Everybody's thrilled.
That's not true. Levi is unhappy. He actually has to work now.
Well, we've sold 75% of our furniture, and our clothing sales have gone up 50%, and all we have is black and gray, and we sold dozens of Heine helpers.
Yeah, Levi was telling us about them. Hopefully some of the customers will start smelling a lot better.
Yeah, that one lady today really stunk bad.
Her husband was even worse. Ew.
Levi told us to send the stinky ones to the furniture store to buy some ass aids.
They're Heine helpers!
We women unite and come to the rescue of other women, whether Amish or English.
We have had to work so much.
It was over 6 hours this week. Help us little women too.
And we mothers need to make sure our daughters don't complain too much. I wanted to let you know that the boom in the bakery has felt the same as your furniture store. Our sales have skyrocketed.
Well, I did mention to the customers about the other businesses in intercourse. Oh, and of course how good your pies are.
Thank you so much.
I guess the only thing we have left to do now is deal with Deacon Noah. I don't know what he plans to do going forward.
I know Father was not happy earlier in the week, especially when the boycott started. But that was his own fault. His actions were old-fashioned and far too severe.
I think his severe response was perfect.
I agree. It actually helped both of us.
Come to think of it, he has been much more relaxed these past few days.
That's a good sign.
Although, I'm not sure how he's going to handle this new news we have to tell him.
Honestly, I'd be even more concerned about your mother.
What's the new news?
I have asked Delilah to have dinner with me.
Oh my, I'm excited, but you haven't told your parents?
Not yet. Wanted to let the boycott turmoil blow over first.
I wouldn't wait too long. When do you plan to tell them?
Looks like it might be real soon.
Do you want to be here when you talk to them?
I like having you around, Delilah.
Oh, I really don't mind leaving.
I don't mind leaving either.
Oh, please stay. It won't be that bad. Hello, Mother. Hello, Father. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello, Noah and Ruth. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
Greetings, Amos. What are you doing here? Did you get a new job?
No, I'm still working for Delilah down at the furniture store.
Well, that's too bad.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Father. I'm learning so much from her. She's a wonderful boss and a wonderful person.
I'm sure she is.
What?
While I'm glad you like your job, would you consider leaving?
Why do you want me to leave my job?
Because I need your help. This last week at the cheese factory has been amazing. Sales are up 200%, and I need 2 or 3 more employees just to keep up.
Well, that's great news, Deacon Noah. Congratulations.
And last night I was selected as the full-time bishop of the community, so I will be extra stretched for time.
If you need help, I can tell you that Eli is very available. You don't even have to ask him. He accepts. I don't care what you pay him. And believe me, he has experience with cutting cheese.
If the boom continues at the bakery, I could use him here too.
He could work a double shift. Any chance you could use him at the furniture store too?
I know that working at the furniture store doesn't make Uncle Eli happy. We'll be fine as long as we can get Levi motivated.
You're probably going to need Uncle Eli then.
I wanted you all to know that as the new full-time bishop of the community, I need to see things from a new perspective. I need to take into consideration the needs of the community and not be so harsh and overbearing towards differences in the town.
Business must be going well.
I must at times consider the benefit new ideas can have on the community, even if they might be different from my own beliefs. Sometimes challenging your own ideas can bring improvement.
Business must have exploded at the cheese factory.
Diversity can make us stronger.
And richer.
Please don't take this as an apology, just a new perspective.
Thank you, Father.
Apology accepted. Thank you for saying that.
That was not an apology.
Thank you then for your comments.
Shall we officially call off the boycott?
Absolutely not.
What?
Perhaps the reasons for the boycott were not good, but the actions taken to support that boycott were brilliant. I suspect it was your idea, Esther, but everyone carried it off brilliantly.
Rebecca was a lot of help too.
I must admit, I was overwhelmed at the response.
The community has been revitalized. I'll take some of the credit, but I'm not sure how to handle that. I don't get much credit at home.
I must say, in my entire life, I've never seen so much traffic in intercourse. And so much of it horseless.
But if we're all happy and friends again, why can't we just call off the boycott?
Because it was the boycott that led to the success. It is a remarkable marketing tool. We must, however, be careful, for the novelty will wear off in time.
Why don't we wait until there's a small decline in business, and then we'll start the protests and picketing up again?
Or maybe we plan one boycott march every month or so to remind our customers that oppression still exists.
Good idea, ladies. I shall not, however, reveal this approach to the committee.
Good point. We don't want the truth leaking out to Anderson Scooper.
Thank you again, everyone. We will now be on our way. Amos, son, I hope you can accept my invitation to return to the house.
Thank you, Father.
And can I expect you for dinner tonight?
I cannot. I have other plans.
We can change that if you want.
I do not want to change anything, Delilah. Father, I have asked Delilah to have dinner with me tonight.
Okay, perhaps tomorrow will work.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, you're having dinner with Delilah.
It's a date. I finally worked up the courage to ask her out.
Oh, I'm glad that you did ask me.
I hope it goes well.
And I hope you have many more.
As do I.
Just be aware, son, if things get serious and marriage is considered.
Well, maybe we're advancing a little too quickly. We haven't even been on our date yet.
I understand, but if things do get serious, Delilah will either need to join the Amish faith or you will need to leave it. You can still run the store, Delilah. I just wanted to make that clear.
I understand, Father, but that is much further down the road, if it ever happens.
Well, we could always just become Quakers if that would help. Kind of meet halfway.
We can discuss that later. Delilah, you are also welcome to join us for dinner tomorrow if you so desire. And now I shall let you all get along with your day. I'll be seeing you all soon.
That didn't go at all how I expected. They were actually happy and congenial.
I don't think that they were. Ruth didn't seem any different.
I have never seen my father like this. I'm still trying to recover from the shock and the cane.
You know, I could help. I could run home and get some wine.
Oh, I didn't know the Amish drank alcohol.
We don't. In public.
No need to run home. I have some right here. To Delilah, Amos, and the future of intercourse.
I'll see you out there. Go outside. I'll see you in the lobby. Pat hears me better than you.